All right, what's up, guys? What's good? What's good? Make sure you can see me. Kevin's in the background there. Oh, that's not it. Hold up. Hold on. Happy Monday, guys. Super blurry right now. All right, that's not what I was trying to do at all. What up? Yo, hold up. I go. All right, perfect. All right, guys, what's going on? Let me record this real quick. All right, so I hope you guys are doing amazing. Chilling here with y'all today. We got a training. I'm gonna dive right into it. Let me know in this chat where you're plugging in from. Let me know how long you've been trading. I know there's some fresh traders in here. Ideally, the trading I'm about to do, it'll save you years. It should save you years. And if you've been trading for months or years, some of these things will for sure give you maybe a completely different perspective. It might almost serve as a reset for you. So 2020, 3 years, a year, España, 2 years. Awesome. I'm like blurring out, right? Damn, this is crazy. All right, for some reason, this is not it. This is crazy. Yo, can you help me out again? So while 1 year this month, while this gets all figured out, just like tap that right there. Yeah, nah, just tap it. Man, this is wilding out over here. All right. Well, y'all let me know. But from CT, 3-year mark, that's what's up. San Antonio, 2 years at the end of the month. I'm good. All right, cool. So, guys, today, for those of you that don't know me, my name is Mike Navarrete. I started trading in 2015, 2016, 2017. I was towards the end of blowing accounts. And so I'm grateful to have been, full-time in the trading space since 2017. I've had the pleasure of educating hundreds of thousands of people, maybe millions now, since the end of 2017. So I've done a lot. I've done a lot of hours on these charts, and I would say that basically everything I thought I knew about trading coming into it was totally wrong. And there's still so much that I get exposed to. So yeah, I mean, I'm super excited to give you guys some of these truths that maybe you weren't ready for. There's just a lot that you don't see coming. So, today, like I mentioned, this session is really trading truths you might not like, you might not expect, but ideally this saves you years and years and years. And you guys can go ahead and share this wherever you want, because we are live across different platforms. But the first truth that I'm going to tell you right now is the following: is you will not remember most of these. That's the first truth. I'm going to give you about 15, but you're not going to remember most of the things I'm about to tell you. You're going to forget so many lessons. And the reason I'm telling you this is because I couldn't tell you how many times I thought I learned a lesson, but I didn't. I couldn't tell you how many times I thought this is the last time this is ever going to happen to me, and then it wasn't. And it was really because I didn't write it down. I didn't journal it. I didn't document it. I didn't create an emotional connection to the mistakes that I was making. So out of everything I'm going to tell you right now, there's a good chance you're going to forget. So make sure that you not just take notes with this, but make sure you put this in front of you. Maybe have this around you. When I started trading, I remember I used to put everything on the walls around me. Do you know how people build vision boards and things like that? I would put everything, whether it was, and the funny thing is, I think I did it the wrong way, because I would put patterns and a whole bunch of setups and markups all around me and have the books and everything like that. But in reality, what I needed to remember more, it wasn't the patterns, it wasn't the accumulation, distribution, it wasn't all of the things that I started to learn. I needed to put down my most common mistakes. I needed to put down the things, the hard pills to swallow, the things that hurt the ego the most. those were the things I probably should have put in front of me more frequently. And so just like we have trading confirmations, I do think there's trading reminders that you should probably have for yourself, whether it's on the psychology side of things, whether it's on the behavioral side of things. And so like I said, it's really, really, really normal to forget most things that we learn, and make sure, set it up so that you can remember these things. All right. So number 2, your equity curve. Your equity curve is your mirror. So your equity curve is basically the growth that you're making over time. So I'll actually, you know what, I'll draw it out for you guys. So your equity curve, let me get the little whiteboard out here. Your equity curve will look a little bit like this. So depending on what this looks like, it's going to be a reflection of you and your disciplines. So as you progress as a trader, you know, your account might look like this, you know, climb here, maybe spikes down again, you know, slowly but surely, big spike down. You don't really know. So depending on how this looks, it's a reflection of you. And so I'll give you an example, something like this. I'll draw it out one more time. When you have something like this, right, where what you want is something healthy, you want something nice. So here we go. You want to have something like this, right? Something nice. You know, maybe we just start to flow. That's your equity curve. That's like your money, your balance going up. Now that's pretty smooth. That means that, hey, yeah, of course, you can see this goes down every once in a while. You know, we have our moments, but overall, it's a steady climb to the upside. This means that you're probably losing, but you're losing the right way, which is normal. And this could be over years, right? But what happens is most people, it doesn't look like that. Most people, it looks something like this. You have over leveraged wins. So your balance goes up pretty high. And then you have massive losses. So then you're back at negative. And then now we ego trade, we over leverage, we make mistakes. So if you have spikes, that means that usually it's from lack of disciplines. It's big losses that weren't necessary. It's moments where you're breaking your trading plan. So if you see that in your account balance, you have aggressive drops or aggressive spikes, the aggressive spikes could be good, right? These moments like this right here, this first push up here, that could be amazing, but did you do it the right way, right? Was it the proper format for you? Was it according to your plan? Now, if you have big spikes like this, your account balance shouldn't drop over 1 or 2 trades back to where you started. So the reason I say it's a mirror of you is because how your balance goes up and down is 100% based on your decisions, your patience, your discipline. So when you look at your account balance, when you look at, if you're, for example, if you audit your accounts with whatever services that you have out there, if you're doing those things, then you'll see it. And when you're seeing how your account's going up or down, if you're seeing spikes, that means that something's happening outside of the regular. Now, every once in a while, I'll talk about the spikes up. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But those big spikes down, you want to, when you look at your account, you want to eliminate as many of those as possible. Or you want to eliminate as many of those as possible. So your equity curve is your mirror. And sometimes looking in the mirror might be ugly, or you might not like what you see. If your equity curve, if you're blowing accounts, it's not because of the market. It might not even be the strategy. It might just be your ability to trade that strategy, right? It might be your obsession with money. So that's trading truth number 3, is obsession with money is rejecting money. So if you're so obsessed with making money in your trading account today, you have to make money to cover the bills. You feel like you need to make a certain amount to prove it to yourself, to prove it to somebody. Because you're so obsessed with the money is the exact reason you're not getting the money. Because what happens is when we're obsessed with the money, our attention is going to money. But why do you get money? How does this happen in these markets? How does this happen? You get money based on your decisions, the quality of your decisions over a long period of time. So don't get me wrong. I love money. I'm sure all of you love money, but obsession is based on focus. So if we want to get obsessed, we want to be obsessed on the things that give us the money, right? Which is our behaviors and our interaction with the market. So, but the problem is we focus so much on the results. We focus on getting the money, receiving the money. So a truth is, look, I want you guys to be ambitious. I want you guys to go for it. There should be no limitations on what you can achieve, how much you can achieve, when you can achieve it, but it's the expectations to these things. So you can be obsessed with being the best and then getting the best out of you, but you have to make sure that you're not trying to control what's uncontrollable, which is how much money am I going to make today? That's not in your control. Now you can set yourself up so that it's easier and easier and easier to make more over time, having more capital, obviously having better skill set, but obsessing over just the money by itself it's going to crush you. It's going to absolutely crush you. That's why I used to have, I remember when I started trading, people would say, oh, have a daily goal. One of the worst pieces of advice I've ever gotten in my life. Have a daily goal for trading money-wise. Worst thing you can do. Absolutely awful. Because then you're trading, you're getting into the market so that you make an X amount of money. Or maybe you're in a good trade. You followed your trading plan, but you want to hit a certain goal. And so you break your plan, staying in that trade longer than you should have. That's why having an exit strategy is so important. So I remember making so many mistakes in the process because I was shooting for $100 a day or $50 a day or $1,000, whatever it was. Same thing, like weekly goals or even monthly goals and quarter goals. Yeah, of course, there's certain things that we want, but you can't force it. So that's why that obsession with money, you can, if you refocus it to that obsession into the discipline, then you're good. So that's 3, right? Trading truth number 4, work smart, not hard, right? You don't have to be on the charts all day. You don't. You really, really, really don't. What a lot of people think, the more I'm looking at these charts, the more I'm analyzing different pairs, the more I'm going to get paid out. But the problem is the setup, your plan, there's a good chance it's not going to show up all day, every day. Right? Let me know here. Let me know in the chat. How often, how many trades do you guys take a month? I take like 30 trades in a month, give or take. But that's because those are the setups that show up. Like I trade indices every day. I'm going to get 1 or 2 setups on average. If you trade forex, you might not be seeing a setup every day. That's okay. Maybe you do. But being on the charts more often doesn't mean you get paid more often. Super different. The opportunities don't come when we want them. So you want to make sure that you're scheduling your trading hours according to your lifestyle. When it makes sense, when is high impact news. If you see a good setup on Euro USD, I'm telling you right now, it's not going to happen during agent session. If you're looking at USD CAD, it's probably not going to happen in the evening. It's probably not going to happen during London session. So you want to make sure you're just focused at the right times in the right places, and you're not looking like, I get it. As you're getting better, you want to put more reps in, of course. You want to look at more charts, but it doesn't mean you need to trade all the time. Developing yourself, training your eyes is one thing, but trading all the time is completely different. And that's something we just can't be doing, right? So make sure when you are on the charts, you're on the charts for the right reasons. Is that making sense? So when you get onto these charts, make sure, just remind yourself, all right, I'm not here to trade. Maybe I'm just here to back test. I'm just here to to analyze, see if I can get better at seeking, look at, drawing out liquidity or looking for structure, whatever it is that you're doing, but make sure you know exactly why you're there. All right. Trading lesson number 5. The discipline behind the plan is more important than the plan itself. This is the truth, absolute truth. It's crazy. You know what's funny? We're constantly looking for the edge, right? Okay, if I learn this strategy and I combine it with this strategy and they make a baby and they make this strategy, then I'm going to have the greatest strategy. I'm going to make 10 risk reward. Look, it doesn't matter how good your plan is if you can't follow it. It doesn't even matter. Doesn't matter. Let me ask you guys a question. Now, I want y'all to be real with me. Be real in the chat. Have you gone 25 trades in a row without breaking any part of your plan? All right. Think about the last time you've done that. 25 trades. Just perfectly boom executed. No, that's not that easy. We're human beings, right? We're impulsive. I messed up again. And that's okay. Look, guys, that's okay. 99% of people don't do that. Even the best in the game, they'll probably slip up somewhere. Right? I slip up too. But how close can we get to that? And then it's about, okay, well, how close can I get? So here's the reason I say that. We're seeking to have the best strategy. But if you can't even execute it, it doesn't even matter. Does it even matter? Let's be real, right? So what do we need to focus on? Right? Our impulses, our impulse control. That's okay. Why is it that I take too many trades? Where does that come from? So if you feel like, on paper, I feel like I have a good strategy, but I like the empty, it's not translating to my account. It's probably not the strategy. It might be the discipline. So do you even know? Are you even tracking it? If you're not tracking it either, then we got a problem. So take a look in the mirror, and especially if you've been trading 6 months, a year, maybe 2 years or longer, and you feel like you're not quite where you should be, it might not be your strategy anymore. It might just be the discipline to the strategy. All right. And let's reverse engineer what exact things we're breaking. All right. Awesome. So number 6, trading truth. You have to be present. You have to be present. Eliminate distractions. You know how easy it is? Like if you're trading on your computer and you have 14 tabs open and you have trading view, right? You have YouTube open, you have, some other project you're working on. Maybe you're actually at work. So you have your work stuff there too. You have, name it, right? Whatever it is that you do, whatever website you got Instagram pulled up, you got TikTok pulled up. Look, multitasking as a trader is death to your account. Absolute death. If you're waiting for your trade setup and you feel like it's going to happen sometime soon, you know what you can do in the meantime? Document the trade that you're going to take. Write down, okay, how you're feeling. What's the setup? Take the screenshot. You want to slow down your process instead of being everywhere else. We're like computers, right? We're always processing things. So what we want to focus on is processing the right things, keeping our focus in place. So that's where you want to be present. I know we have a million things going on in our lives, but at the end of the day, you don't get paid based off of what you know, you get paid off of what you do. You pay yourself through what you're doing. Also, what happens is you might be, especially if you're trading indices, you might be waiting for a setup. You go do something else, you go look back, it's gone. She gone. Or you're doing so much, you're looking at so many different pairs, you forgot to set an alert, you go back to it, again, same thing. And if you know you just can't be fully present, then it might not be a time to trade. Because what would you rather do? Would you rather lose? Or would you rather just do nothing because you couldn't fully be there? So there's a lot of moments, for example, like there was a day where I couldn't fully trade last week because we just had other things going on. So cool, I just didn't trade. And that's fine. All right. Feel attacked. Hey, is for you, right? It's all love. 7. Oh, this is the one. This is one of them. High reward trades come unexpected. Right? You're never really gonna know when the 5 to 1s, the 10 to 1s are gonna happen. You can't force the market to pay you 5, 10, 25 times more than what you risk. They're not gonna have. Don't swing for the fences every single time, especially if you don't actually have a strategy behind those moments happening. Guys, the people that I've seen do very well in this space, be very consistent, have low pressure situations, they're not going for home runs every time. They're going for singles. They're going for doubles. They're going so that they're getting what they know works according to their probabilities. Because remember, it's probabilities times risk to reward. It's a combination of those two things. And most people can't lose 10 times or 9 times, but then get the winner, the big winner. Because if you keep losing because you're just going for the big one, every loss, for most people, losses create negative behaviors, or they're leading you to making a mistake, breaking your plan. So the big moments, they don't come because you force them to happen. They happen naturally, like they were supposed to. So if you think, you know what, let me go for a big, if you say like, oh, I'm going to go for a big trade, you already lost. You're never going for a big trade. The big trade comes to you because you're taking the right trades. And eventually you'll learn when those moments come. For example, I'll give you guys a heads up. FOMC trades. If FOMC is happening, yeah, there's a good chance you might get a longer reward because there's way more volatility than usual. Okay. For example, if the market has been squeezing all week, let's say Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, market's been very consolidated and it's Friday. Okay. And there's a good setup. Guess what? Now we have evidence, we have proof, we have some signs that this thing is about to pop. So if I'm on the right side of this trade, this can go pretty far, but it's because I have evidence, not because I want it, but because based off of experience, this thing can fly. So you want to trade off of experience, not off of desire. And so those high reward setups, they come from experience. I don't go for massive trades all the time. But if it's FOMC, if it's maybe even NFP, then all right. And the market's setting up in a way, it's like, hey, we've seen this before. This thing can run. So it's those different types of situations. All right, awesome. I see y'all killing it here in this chat. I'm not coming at y'all personally. Y'all are funny. Yeah, 1 to 3s. And you have to understand yourself, right? Like you may not be able to do high reward trades because you haven't developed patience within yourself yet. And that can be developed. That's okay. But you might be 2 to 1 and you're good. And that's more than enough. All right. Number 8, right? Trading truth. Number 8. Short-term results are absolutely irrelevant. Short-term results are absolutely irrelevant. Now, look, you had a big win. I'm happy for you, but it doesn't actually matter. I'm being real. One win doesn't matter. You had a massive, massive week, like highly unusual week, way out of ordinary month, doesn't really matter. What can you do over a long period of time? What can you sustain? That's what matters. And I want you, because you got to get grounded, because there's going to be a moment, if you're in this long enough, you will have a breakout moment. There will be a trade that pushes you beyond where you've been. But what you do after that is what sets you up or not. So that trade doesn't matter. The trades that follow it do. You had a nice 5-figure trade, 4-figure trade. I'm happy for you. How you did it also will determine whether I'm impressed or not. But what happens afterwards is everything. Because what happens is a really impactful, quick trade, which with good reward, what does it do? It dopamine rushes. Right? It can get to your head, your ego. All of a sudden, you start feeling like, start to feel like you're the shit. Also, all of a sudden, you're giving advice in the chats. Make a couple videos. But how long can you do that for? Is that sustainable? What does that look like? So you got to understand, one of the most dangerous places is after a big win. And remember, you're here to have a career, right? You're not here to have a moment. So number 9, right? Number 9, trading truth number 9. You don't need to be right. You don't need to be right at all. You can be wrong 75% of the time and be a profitable trader. The key is to build your mind, to build a rhino skin, to interact with your ego in a way where you can handle being wrong frequently. There's a very good chance that you're going to be wrong more often than you're right in this game. And a part of the goal is to learn how to be wrong so that you can do the right things to be right. Trust me, this is one of the hardest things for me is just losing. Like losing the way I'm supposed to. Because remember, in your plan, in the plan that you've created, inside of it, you have room for losses. That's part of the plan, is the losses. But your losses are designed in a specific way. So that means you have to allow yourself, oh yeah, I'm going to lose like this. Because this will allow me to win like this. So if losing is kind of hard for you, because it was for me and it still kind of is sometimes, why? Right? Reverse engineer that, dive deep into that. But this is a truth. Like you cannot, if you're used to being right about everything all the time, this part's going to be hard, but it's doable. All right. Number 10, almost there. We got 5 left. Number 10, you don't influence the market. You are absolutely irrelevant in these markets. It's like if you compare yourself to the universe, right? We're like, just a speck of a speck. We're irrelevant. That's the same thing in the markets. We do absolutely nothing, which is great. Right? We're like little minnows. But hey, we got invited to the party, which is fine. But sometimes we start to think that we have something to say here. You don't. You are not important whatsoever in these financial markets at all. So the reason I tell you this, the reason I'm telling you this is because sometimes we want to force the market to do things. Sometimes we think we are smarter than the market. You're not. And I say that so that you can learn how to lose properly. Just got to surrender to the market. Trade your plan. If the market gives you your trade today, sick. If it doesn't, all right, do it again when the next setup comes. We're little plankton eating off the whales. I love it. That's exactly. Seva nailed it. Little plankton eating off the whales. All right, number 11. Forever. You're forever a student of the game. Always, 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 always. There's more to learn. And it might not be new strategies, new technical analysis, implementations, but it might be about your own behaviors, how you interact with the market. That's a big one. How do you interact? How do you move alongside this market? That's most of it. You'll get to a point where you're like, I got my edge down pretty nice. And then eventually it's like, okay, oh, I see, like I make a mistake here. So let me look at it this way. So you're always going to be a student of the game. It doesn't always mean you have to go and look at somebody else or learn from somebody else. But what you can see is like, how do they interact with the market? How do they take losses? How do they take wins? You know, what are they doing financially? How are they budgeting? How does that have to do with my trading? Number 12, delayed gratification is essential. It's essential. It's non-negotiable. There's moments where you feel like, okay, I'm this much away from something. Okay, I'm this close to whatever, you know, finish line or whatever objective you might have. And when you feel like you're close, you want to get there faster. But realize there is no finish line here. Because the moment that you do something specifically, whether it's percentages, whatever it is, well, the moment you do that, guess what? You're still probably going to trade the next day or the next week. This is an infinite game. So you never really make it. It's not about, oh, I made it. It's, oh, I'm keeping it. I'm staying in the game. Right? I live to trade another day. That's how we talk about capital preservation. It's a nice, delicate dance between capital preservation and growth. So delayed gratification allows you to understand, okay, there's bigger goals that if I need to stay in the game for in order to get to that one. 13, your attitude will slow down or accelerate your growth, right? Your attitude will slow down or accelerate your success, your growth, your journey. Your attitude is so important in this because your attitude alone can get you all, it could be a downward spiral. Can I even do this? Am I meant for this? I keep losing. The market's rigged. Blaming other people, even though you hit the button. Your attitude is arguably one of the most important things, because I would say one of the most important characteristics to this is survival. You can survive in this. If you can stay in this game, there gets to a point where you're in this forever. Like there's no way that you don't make it. But you have to stay in the game. But your attitude is what allows you, where you give yourself permission to play another day. Because we're all going to lose, but how we respond to that loss is the actual moment. Because we all will lose here. I can guarantee very few things, but I can guarantee that we're all going to lose again at some point. But how you respond to that loss is what allows you to win the next one the right way you're supposed to, or it's what allows you to lose the next trade the way you're supposed to. It's one or the other. But it's all about how you respond to the loss, and that comes from your attitude, right? Now, number 14, losses are unavoidable. Losses are unavoidable. There's people that trade without a stop loss. And man, that's just like terrifying. And I get it. I want a little more wiggle room, whatever it is, whatever, fine. But if it's because you're trying to run away or hide from losing in the market, that's not going to cut it, because we have zero power over the direction. At some point, the market, I've seen the market go past a specific price and not come back for 5, 6, 7 years. I've seen it. I saw it happen. I remember I took a sell on US 30 in 2020. March 2020, took a sell in US 30 days before COVID crashes. Got stopped out, break even. I was like, all right, price comes back here, I'm in, and then we're gonna short this because this got crazy imbalances. Didn't come back. It just melted for like years. And it finally came back sometime last year. So if you think you're gonna avoid a loss, imagine I would have been in a buy and I'm like, hey, it'll come back. That account's gone. It's obliterated. So losses are unavoidable. So if losses are unavoidable, what is avoidable? The way you approach it, right? Not marrying the trade, not marrying your bias, right? You can be wrong, and that's okay. And then the last one, number 15, trading truth. Trading is your business. You must treat trading as your business. This is real. This is your business. You have hours where you're clocking in. You are a business operator here. Right? You're not just a business owner. You're a business operator. And a business operator knows every detail to their business. You play the CEO in this business, right? You are head of HR in your business, right? You are your own psychologist in this business. You're your own accountant in this business. You must know the balance of your accounts, what your risk thresholds are, what time are you clocking in every day, what are you budgeting, right? What is your emergency fund look like? How much capital do you need to have in order to make a specific amount of money on average? You need to know all these things, right? What's your inventory like? Which means, what are you trading? What are your resources? What are your tools? Do you know all these things? In certain seasons in your business, right? How do you stay in business? How do you stay in business, right? You need to have money to pay the bills. You need to have inventory. You need to know what's quality. So good setups, that's what you're looking for. Specific times are best, right? If you're in a restaurant, you know dinner time's gonna be packed. You got Friday night dinner time, you know there's gonna be money rolling in. Trading's the same way. Oh, New York session, that's when I'm trading. How much capital do I need in order to have this business running? You need to know that. How much of an emergency fund do I need to have so that if business doesn't go well this month, I'm still okay? How long can I go without business going well? Right? Your environment. Are you in a good location to do business? What's your trading environment look like? Trading is a business, guys. There's a lot that goes into this. You want to make sure you have every facet of this established. Do you have a business plan? What's your trading plan? What's your withdrawal plan? Are you ready for that? What's your strategy? So, guys, like I said, you're going to forget most of this. By tomorrow, you won't remember basically everything that I said. But you can set reminders for yourself. You can put it on your wall in front of you. You can have a little note, a little sticky note, a little note card. Maybe you have it in your notes. But these are some things that are like, these are just truth. These are just real. This is how things go. Now, these are just some of them. But I wanted to share this with you guys so that you have something to take home with you. So you can just be reminded, because that's the thing. It's not about what you learned today. It's about what you remember. It's about what you remember. Because everything I just told you, guess what? I forget some of these too sometimes. So I have to go back and I have to read them. I have to remember them. So anyways, guys, much love to all of you. I hope you use this, and the recording will be available on my YouTube here probably tonight or tomorrow. But much love to y'all, and I'll be live again. And look, guys, if you are in Chicago, LA, Phoenix, Dallas, or Miami, we're hosting live analysis sessions all over, right? So if you're there, go to my profile and you'll see how you can do live in person. We can do this together. So if you guys are there, go to my profile. But make sure you're at the end of August and early September. We'll be in Chicago, Cali, Phoenix, Dallas, and Miami. Pull up. Much love to you.